Welcome to the Future Pulse podcast, where we dive into the world of innovation and technology. My name is Melica, and I'm the founder and director of SkillsTalks, which is a recruitment company working with early stage AI companies across the globe. Today, I have with me Max Zheng, who is the CTO and co-founder at UnitX. Pleased to have him on the discussion today. How are you, Max?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, Melica.
Good. We'll tell our audience a bit more about your background and how you've got to where you are today.
Mhm. Yeah, so I came from just a kind of computer science background. Did a few different jobs before Unix on cloud SaaS products. I started my career at Google and then worked at a couple different startups before I joined Kevin on the Unix journey.
Okay. And then, what made you guys team up together to
Mhm.
kind of create Unit X?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin and I have known each other for a long time since beginning of college, and we've always been, wanting to build something together. We were like building social apps back then when Facebook started to get popular, and then I think when we were also chatting, and I think when Kevin was at Stanford, he basically study more on the AI side and kind of bridge the gap between AI and manufacturing. And I think that's basically how it got started. And a couple years into the journey, I decided to join Kevin full time to start working at UnitX.
Cool. All right. Interesting. So, tell us a bit more about what Unix X does anyway.
Yeah, so we focus on manufacturing, and our current major product line is on defect inspection. So we our product includes both hardware and software offering, and we basically focus on creating the best image possible to image all the different types of defects on any product, and then leverage the AI platform to make automated judgments on whether something is a pass or fail. So we work a lot with automotive companies, with lithium-ion battery companies, consumer electronics companies, and yeah, we serve a wide range of customers globally.
Okay, cool. So when people hear about generative AI, obviously they think of ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it may be. But what does generative AI actually mean within manufacturing and robotics, would you say?
Yeah, it actually, I think for different contexts, it also means different things. So, for example, for robotics, if we're thinking about like humanoid or even just robot arms, what generative AI is enabling nowadays is for the robots to essentially be able to adapt to different types of tasks quickly, be able to work on tasks that are like outside of its immediate training domain. So that's a huge kind of improvement. Before generative AI, a lot of these robots need to be manually programmed by programmers. Now it's basically running these giant neural networks that automatically figure out what to do. And I think if you're thinking about like self-driving cars, those are the generative AI also replaced a lot of kind of old code that manually written by engineers, and it's all kind of learned from the data nowadays. And I think specifically for defect inspection, we're leveraging a few different area. I think for the core model to make the judgments, the Gen AI is more. I would say it can help us to generalize the algorithm more. And also, we have a product where we use generative AI to generate defective images from OK images. So we can use that data to train our AI system, where, in cases where there's not enough defective samples to train our AI system on, we can use the Gen AI system to generate the images to train the AI, which kind of seems like a dark magic, but it works really, really well for our purpose. So yeah, there's like multiple areas where generative AI can really help manufacturing to improve.
Okay. And so specific to you guys in Unit X, what is the real problem you're actually solving?
Yeah, so we are our main product line solves the defect inspection problem. Very kind of we're really just targeting that specific problem. A lot of times, the manufacturers they either don't do full 100% inspection on their products because they just can't catch up with the pace of the product line, or sometimes even when they do 100% inspection, the result of the inspection is also not ideal. Lots of times there are uh, escapes or like high false acceptance rate. We are basically trying to help the manufacturers kind of make sure all of their products are 100% inspected with a good tool that can kind of help them to balance the yield and quality. So yeah, that's basically what we solve. Yeah.
Okay. And why is it now the moment in AI in manufacturing? I mean, what's sort of changed technically and globally?
Yeah, I think there's a few kind of pillars. One is the just the AI models are getting more and more powerful. I think that alone is already kind of contributing a lot to this trend. On both the kind of the original neural networks on image processing nowadays, the large language models, large vision models, they're both very powerful. And I think another key area is the local edge compute capability driven by this AI trend, where you are having very cheap access to these advanced compute hardware, specifically like the NVIDIA GPUs, the Jetson edge devices. Those are much more powerful than 4 or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and they can really enable very these large models to run on the edge to quickly make decisions on what's going on with the production line. So I think both of these really help the AI to be kind of adopted in manufacturing environment and improve the manufacturing process overall.
So are we kind of seeing a race almost in manufacturing AI?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's pretty intense. It's a global race, I would say. Like I personally travel to Asia a few times a year, and I've been seeing how much the advancement is in terms of adopting AI in manufacturing. Asia, China, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Vietnam, like all these countries, and I'm also seeing kind of this migration of lots of the assembly tasks to U.S. and Mexico as well. So there's a lot of development on that happening, and both sides are kind of trying to introduce all these advanced technologies into the manufacturing process, and yeah, it is extremely intense in terms of competition globally, which I think it's. I mean, for us, it's good because now we're able to serve all these different customers globally and help them to improve their manufacturing process.
Mm. You didn't mention Europe. Is it
Mhm.
not? Is it not? Is it of demand there, or is it more about GDPR laws there?
Yeah, actually, I think there's a lot of development in Europe as well. I've seen quite a few startups building AI technologies, applying them to manufacturing in Europe as well. It's just not something that we address immediately as a company, so it didn't kind of come to the top of my mind.
Yeah, all right. And then what's one misconception in people have about automation replacing jobs then, especially in
Mhm.
places like manufacturing?
Yeah, I think a lot of our customers came to us not because they want to optimize cost by
Yeah,
replacing human workers. A lot of them actually came to us because of two reasons. One is they just can't hire enough human to and train them quickly to do the
yeah,
job. There is just a shortage of labor in a lot of these areas, both the Western world and Eastern world. And second is with a lot of the manual human inspection, they do suffer quality problems. Like a lot of our customers came to us where after they get fined by their end customer, like they had to pay these huge fines because the human inspector can't be reliable in terms of the inspection, and they have these faulty parts leaked out to their end customer, and they get these huge fines. So a lot of their end customer require them to have some sort of automated 100% inspection. So I think a lot of these are not for replacing human. It's just to improve their production process and improve their quality and their yield. That's the biggest value we provide to our customers.
Right, got you. It's your first time founding a company, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
What's been the biggest learning curve moving from an engineer to then a CTO?
Yeah, it was not easy. I have to be honest. I think during the early days, like when I was working with our small engineering team on the technical side, my brain is basically just I just gotta like solve this problem, or I would just build this technology that can solve this problem. And I can like when anyone comes to me with a problem, I immediately think about how to build it. And then nowadays, I think a big part of like my instinct is on, hey, I can have this team working on this problem, whereas like we might need to deprioritize certain other things. So a lot of it is more around kind of resource allocation, prioritization, and instead of just thinking about how to build it myself. I think this is a kind of a transition that every kind of co-founding CTO or engineer needs to go through in order to, I would say, like create the best leverage of their knowledge in the company and truly enable the team to do their best work. But it was painful when I went through that personally.
Right. So if you can give one piece of advice to first-time technical founders, then what would it be?
Yeah, I think I definitely think the being able to create the right process to enable your team to do the best work is critical. That's essentially how your team scales, and a lot of times, like hiring the right kind of senior leader to do that is kind of a short path towards it because they have been through that. But on the other hand, I also think that they're not like they can't solve all the problems for you. So when it comes to like building a team, building a process, experience really helps. But a lot of times when it comes to actually like insight on your own product, your technology stack, I think that's where the original founding team really shines. And I think a lot of times I would rather trust the instinct from the founding team rather than these senior leaders. So I think leveraging people to kind of their best skill set is critical, and that's kind of how you scale the team and the operation.
Right. Okay. And then last but not least, if everything goes right, what does manufacturing look like in 5 to 10 years' time?
5 to 10 years. I wanted to say like all robots, but I don't think it's achievable in 5 to 10 years. Honestly, I would say what I can see is in 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a lot of AI agents helping human to make decisions in the manufacturing world. A lot of times, like some of them might actually, uh, automatically make those decisions and just push for changes onto the manufacturing process. Some of them might kind of prompt changes to the technician or the engineer, and the engineer can review it and adopt the recommendation. And then basically, I think a lot of the improvement on the yield and manufacturing quality will be driven by these AI agents. And I think they're going to create a lot of value for the manufacturers.
Great. Well, I look forward to seeing how that evolves, and it's good to see that it's what would be perceived as a with AI and robots, you'd think it'd be replaced, but actually, it's just going to just
Mhm.
make factories seem so much more seamless.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
thank you so much
definitely.
for jumping on that because I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, this is fun.
Thank you.